Now, a lot of these pictures were taken with other people present. There are just numerous witnesses to everything that was going on. One of the first things that you want to check at when we were looking for saucers is the indications of what they do when they land physically on the ground. Now, the next couple of slides are going to show you that when they hit the ground first, this is particularly the area in the ground. This is a few weeks later, or a week later, that happens. There's a swirling motion of some kind. Now, this is what happens to the ground after they're gone. Now, what I wanted to show you on this particular one, this is an honest-to-goodness ray gun. It's a laser-powered pistol. You see it right here? This is also the girl that's running this. That's as much as she would allow to be photographed. And that's the latest in outfits now, whatever it is, 5,000 years from now, so get a load of the color. One of the problems that we identified with this thing, and we're talking about a problem, that we looked at it, if you take a look at the nozzle end of it, it's almost the same color as the fence. Doesn't mean anything, because I went over subsequently and saw the results of these crazy deals. Now you see that hole? That's through this tree, which is about 15 inches. It's perfectly round, and you can see how the burn marks are around it. Okay, now there's another picture of the ray gun, and all you're seeing now is just the, I call it just their laser gun.
She's an extraterrestrial?
Yeah, she is an extraterrestrial. She's approximately, according to the information they say, they're about 5,000 years ahead of us technologically. See the craft? See I mean, you're getting a close-up. The latest variation that they have of this, because they're continually evolving their own, is about the size of a cigarette pack now. And they use that as a defensive weapon only. They go to a lot of planets, they quote, that are on various stages of evolution. Now we're back here to this tree with the same hole in it. Now this tree is about 24 inches across. Same hole. Now these holes are done just because they were just pointing them out like this. Billy was playing, and he was with Shamyasa, which is the girl, and I'll show you her picture in a minute. But it was basically having a little bit of fun with it and shooting 30 feet up in the air. This is a little close-up that I could take. Billy would set down a tripod, and he would put his movie camera on. This particular photograph is of another variation of the craft that has gold around the side of everything else. I don't have the one. It shows a French Mirage fighter that made about 20 passes against the craft, burned out all the electronic equipment on it and everything else.
On the craft or on the fighter?
On the fighter. Oh, not on that. What they tell us is they don't care about anything. They put a force field around the craft so that if you would shoot a missile or a bullet or anything else at them, it would automatically deflect it or go on with someplace else or come back at twice the amount. It doesn't bother them. They have to have that to go through space, because there's a lot of particles in space. There's the same craft. Is the fighter up there? I can't see. There's the fighter up there. Same craft. This is over a town now, so you imagine there's a lot of people that see these things, and you're going to say, I don't see them. Now, these are close pictures. Okay, now there's Billy aiming the camera up there so you can see it. Now we're coming up from the unusual ones. Billy is being visited by a lot of ETs. What they tell us, when I was asking them about over there, and it appears in the notes, everybody's brain works like a liquid crystal, like a little vibration. And that we're all putting out waves, like if you're walking down the room, automatically you're picking up somebody else's thought, or you can feel them behind it. Anyway, you're emanating these waves throughout the universe. Everybody is. And it has its own, what they call, mind card, or its own frequency. Everybody's on their own. And they tune into it, they being whatever our extraterrestrial visitors are. They appear to be coming from all different types of physical dimensions as well as other physical dimensions, non-physical. This particular light, which is referred to in a lot of places throughout the world as a, this was right over outside of Billy's window, he was taking this one. This is a craft that was coming from the non-physical, in other words, into electrical energy, down, condensing into matter, because they go at such a speed, they convert matter into some type of an energy and transfer it from one place to another. There's that same energy at night. It was so bright. There's his house again. This is his barn. all the little vehicles sitting around that they run around with. It never did condense into physical matter. So what they say is, and we all look at it, matter goes back to light and back to energy again. So what they have done is come down to light, could not fine-tune their instruments to bring it down into the physical dimension. That's another one of the craft and light. This, to me, is one of the most incredible pictures that we have. This picture was taken by Billy's friend, who's from Austria, was over there. And Billy was standing outside. Remember those lights? If you look at this thing, this is Billy with his hand up in the air, and these are the sparks and light around him. Now, I don't understand the energy that's involved in doing that, but that is a localized energy. It's totally surrounding Billy, because there's his 2 feet. You see his arms up in the air. It's happening in his backyard. He has 3 children, his wife, and about 6 women around there doing it. He's got a real good deal. Okay, this is the only picture that Semjase would allow with just a drawing of her, because she is walking among us. She doesn't want to be recognized at this point. They call God, quote, the creator or the creation of all things, and it goes throughout the whole universe, and just because somebody's black, white, green, or whatever color, we're all created by the same creation, and that's what they look at. They cannot, they being the Palladians, understand our religious system. I was out taking pictures, and I went up, when I took those pictures of the trees, now these 2 are the closest they're going to let us have to the real picture. Those were taken inside a craft, but that's all they'd allow. No, that's a most. How old are they? About 300 of our years, the equivalent of about 27. They go to school for 100 years. And they learn each language. They're walking through us throughout all of the different cultures that we have, and that's the way they treat us, different cultures. And they're observing, watching with us. They feel that we're going to commit hara-kiri and blow ourselves apart, and they don't want this to happen because we're treading ground in their backyards, what they say.